Hi Gemini, welcome to your weekly message. So the theme of the week for you seems to be really focused on endings, the end of an important cycle that has kind of took you into the heights of a great spiritual transformation. So it feels like you're ending a dark phase of your life and heading towards a much more positive one, but you must let the things that are gone be gone, and the things that are dead stay dead. So what I want to say about that is that it feels like Gemini's, uh, you having a hard time dealing with this ending because it's like the culmination of a long process, right? Of perhaps grief or difficulties or just a part of your life that was very, very important, but it has come to an end. It could be as well that you're grieving a relationship or you're grieving the loss of a loved one. Whatever it is in specific for you, something has come full circle. There's this completion of an energy that is evident. It's like something that is really evident that has ended, but you're struggling in letting it be and end. Like you're struggling in allowing a natural process to happen. Some of you have difficulties during this time with endings because of the emotional crisis that might trigger. Some of you have an actual fear or extreme fear taking over you, particularly fears that deal with death or losses in general. So you're being asked to embrace the nature of situations of how they are and to surrender to forces that you cannot control. Surrender to how things are, to the will. Let's put it this way. You can put it like to surrender to the will of God or surrender to the way the universe is operating right now, because resisting and fighting against it is just going to put you more in suffering is what I feel. And you have a very similar reading with Virgo. So Geminis that are dealing with Virgos, or Geminis that have Virgo in their chart, this might be an important message for you. It feels like you also feel, some of you just feel like your life is stagnant. Your life has reached a point where it's like there's no turning back, but you also don't know where tomorrow is, where you're heading. So you're like struggling with understanding where you're supposed to go or where you're supposed to find hope, inspiration, the newness that you're craving, the newness that you're needing. And again, it will all come to you, it will all happen, but you must give it time. I feel like some of you, this is about learning to sit in the dark, and you're having a hard time just sitting in the dark waiting for things because first, you don't see the way. Second, the dark is scary. It can be intimidating. It can be terrifying. But something that will come out of this, Geminis, I feel for you this week is that if you're able to flow with the shadow, be in the shadow, be in the negative energy, because the shadow is about creation as well. It's not, we don't create only from the light, we also create from the shadow. So something is coming about this, a new thing is going to come about this, even if you think that you have nothing to look for, because the Geminis I'm connecting are really feeling helpless. So I'm talking for Geminis that are going through some sort of crisis during this time. And this crisis is going to lead you to a new chapter of your life, and one where you will feel reinvented. It's going to fully transform you, and it has been transforming you. The challenge is in you, again, being in this energy without struggling against it or wanting to fight against the feeling of being taken to the depths of a process that, again, it intimidates you, it scares you because it triggers fears. Some of you is just about fears. It's about having to overcome a fear in order to get to the other side of it. It's like if you are able to cast light into a fear, it no longer holds power over you. But to cast light into your fears, you need to stare your fear in the eye. This is the trick. It's like you might be struggling and looking at situations in the eye because of what you think that can do to you, right? In reality, I feel like once you confront it, it's like the monsters, right, no longer have power. The inner demons, they cease to be inner demons. They are just manifestations of places within us that we don't look at. So they feed from that rejection, they feed from that sense of self-hatred, and they grow stronger. And so then they have that sense of proportion that it's higher or felt as higher than ourselves, but in reality it's an illusion. So again, also be mindful that you might be allowing fear to dictate your choices and to dictate the way you'd look at your life and your future. I do feel like you have many good things in you that are going to come as well. It's like there are things about this crisis moment or a crisis episode of some sort that a part of it is also going to be about liberating talents and skills that maybe you have not been awakened to or fully receptive to work with. And this is going to change a lot as well, the way you create and the way you manifest into your life. So I hope you have a great week. If you would like to have personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. Or if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do so by following the PayPal link, which is also down below. Have a great week.